Thanks, Sean. On to the BP Ultimate Grid. Kane Scott lines up off the pole for race 2 alongside Timmy Edgell. A road 2 start for Craig Baird alongside the first of the Holdens, Andy Booth.
Then go back to Wade Henshaw and Andy Knight. Of course, Andy Knight getting a bit of damage from the Johnny McIntyre incident. We go back to Matt Lockwood and Andrew Anderson.
Matt Lockwood with a solid result in race number 1. Go back to Scott McLaughlin, who charged from 16th to 9th. Simon Richards alongside of him. Nick Ross is next alongside John Penny in the Ford.
Then go back to Hayden McKenzie and Christina Orr. She's actually having a blind and return back to the championship. David Hoffer and, of course, Paul Manuel will be disappointed with that result back in 15th.
Yeah, Paul Manuel having a spin in race 1. Eddie Bell and Martin Short alongside each other. Angus Fogg and John McIntyre. And completing the lineup, it's William Bamber.
Next door to his good companion Angus Fogg. So those guys will be making inroads. How far? Time will tell.
So the AMG Mercedes safety car peels off into pit lane. 12 laps race 2 for the NZV8's from the CRC 200 here at the Manfeild Auto Course. It is about to erupt, and effectively for Angus Fogg and John McIntyre, this is their first reverse grid race of the day as we get to green. Timmy Edgell.
Right down the inside, Craig Baird sandwiched between everybody. This is not going to end pretty.
Wade Henshaw trying to get an inside run. Andy Knight to the outside. That's a great start for the Century Batteries Ford. Kane Scott.
Andrew Anderson's getting filtered back there.
Kane Scott got a little touch in the rear bumper and it just about turned around the Fujitsu Ford. He's back.
Now McLaughlin, he could be the spoiler in this. This is uncharted territory for him there. He's rubbing on Andy Booth. No need to do that at all. There's still a lot of racing to be done.
On board with McLaughlin. That's Matt Lockwood climbing the curbs into the side of Andy Booth. Andy Anderson wants a part of it. It's busy for the opening few corners here at Manfield for race 2.
Certainly not over. I think after all that, I believe Timmy Edgell might actually be in the lead of this race.
Tim Edgell with the race lead.
Yeah.
There he is.
Wade Henshaw up to 3rd. Championship contender Craig Baird right in the middle of the pack there. Not far actually in front of Angus Fogg. So,
well, considering he started from position 3 off the grid, that's a big lose for Craig Baird.
He just got mossed.
John McIntyre.
He did. He's got mossed at the start and he just got absorbed and the freight train went past. But here is Johnny.
To the outside of Christina Orr. He's dropped back to 4th in the points behind Kane Scott, who was certainly the biggest mover points-wise after the first race, with a pretty dominant win. But Timmy Edgell was pretty cagey back there and behind him. He wasn't too far off the outright pace, but Edgell's got the lead at the end of lap number 1, chased by Scott, Henshaw, Knight, Booth, the first of the Holdens, Matt Lockwood and Scott McLaughlin side by side. So Scott McLaughlin with a great start.
Yeah, Scott McLaughlin on the inside here. Matt Lockwood, he's got nothing to lose. He's going to stay there because he doesn't know any different. He's going to come across and probably run Scott right out of room. Is exactly what he does. Somewhere in there is going to be the Craig Baird car.
There's some action back through the field. Just saw some yellow flags getting waved out there on board with Martin Shorts.
Paul Manuel slowing there on the infield. There's another car just to the outside of that.
So there's lots happening. Look at the debris getting flicked up onto the front windscreen of Paul Manuel's Oryx Commodore. So Tim Edgell stalked now by Kane Scott. Things settling.
Now, here we go. The ITM car of Andrew Anderson right to the back of the Craig Baird car.
Oh, sideways for Anderson on the Peak Anticrease replay. And he's reversing through Splash.
Yeah, not the ideal way to go around, but
he did a good job to get out of harm's way, though.
He did, and that was the smart thing. Just roll back, let everybody go through it and regather the race. So there you have. It's amazing how quick fortunes can change.
Craig Baird's got the right side mirror off the door, flapping about. Eddie Bell battling there with John Penny for position 13. Back on board with McIntyre, who still scored in the 19th position. As Lockwood's trying to get by Craig Baird. On board.
Board here, Craig Baird. He's currently in 7th place. If you just look in the back of the shot, Angus Fogg started for the back, already up to 10th. So he's in damage limitation mode and doing a really good job about it.
So Tim Edgell, certainly that gap has closed. Kane Scott, the gap in the line last time was 0.5 of a second. You can see the gap there. Wade Henshaw got a great start down the inside. He's 3rd ahead of Andy Knight. And the Knight team with a lot of work to do. They've changed engines between the first and second race.
Just heard car number 1, sorry Jamie, black and white flag, driving off the track at turn 8. Number 1 car, Craig Baird.
So that's a warning. Warning for Craig Baird. Kane Scott, he's got some damage to the left front corner and the right rear bumper of the Fujitsu Ford. These two with a fairly significant lead already in the opening laps for race number 2.
These guys are just in a field of their own, they really are. Wade Henshaw back, he's got no pressure on him whatsoever. Andy Knight tied up in a battle there with Andy Booth.
Angus Fogg, just in back a shot, is up to the 9th position from grid position 19 inside the first 3 laps.
And he's got the fire in his belly that we know about. He's hungry to make up those places.
As Craig Baird was trying to get by Scott McLaughlin for the 6th position. Tim Edgell with Kane Scott stalking him for the race lead. Wade Henshaw, where's he come from? He's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, I've said before, it's not surprising Wade, he knows how to turn it on. He is a fierce competitor at the best of times. And he's doing a sterling job in that easy bike car. Of course, he hasn't done much of the championship as well, so he doesn't have the luxury of everybody else on the screen doing a lot of miles. He just jumps in, he drives on ability, and that's why he's in a very worthy 3rd place.
So Craig Baird couldn't get by Scotty McLaughlin, so Baird back in the 7th position. Pedals just inside the 10. The 10th place car is Nick Ross at the head of this queue. On board with John McIntyre, who's in the 13th position. There's Nick Ross in 10th, Simon Richards, Eddie Bell, John McIntyre. So just looking at this lead, looking at the lap times, Timmy Edgell at a 13.7, Scott at a 13.8. Kane Scott with the fastest lap of the race at a 13.5. As Craig Baird tries to come back and mount another challenge on Scott McLaughlin. So Timmy Edgell looks pretty comfortable out front, but Kane Scott showed he's got very, very good car speed over the weekend.
Yeah, no, don't agree. I don't think he's comfortable there at all. I think it's just a matter of time before Kane pounces on him. Kane's just sizing him up at the moment. There's a lot of car speed in that Fujitsu Falcon. Timmy Edgell, we know we can win races. He won the race here before, so if there's anybody's capable of doing it, it's him. But you can't help but think that Kane is just sizing him up right. I know I'm quicker than you, Timmy. You're quicker than me here. I'm going to put all this together, and now I'm going to pass you.
Approaching the halfway mark, Martin Short is up to the 15th position. Coming back after that clash that involved Angus Fogg at the start of race number 1. There's Eddie Bell to the inside of Simon Richards. McIntyre is going to follow him through.
Nice clean easy pass there. Simon Richards down the inside. Comes a bit of a battle of horsepower, but he's got the inside running, which is the preferred line. Advantage, Johnny McIntyre.
Yeah, John McIntyre, that should be for the 12th position. Tim Edgell out in front again. Kane Scott was a 10th of a second quicker in that last lap. McIntyre up into the 12th position. Eddie Bell on the move as well in the independent Fisheries Ford. He was delayed in that first corner clash in race 1 as well.
Just saying to say, if he could actually make the inside pass here on Nick Ross, I thought Johnny Mac was going to follow right through, but he thought better of it. Here we go. Watch for the crossover here. Jamie, this is at the hairpin there. It's going to be a matter of drive out of the corner. Who's got the best? Timmy Edgell. Now, what's Kane going to do? Is he going to go to the left or the right of our screen? If he goes to the left, he's got the inside running.
Well, he's got good exit speed off the hip, and we know the Chester's Ford has got big straight line speed as Kane Scott a half look to the inside at Higgins.